I got this script, I think it was about 2 years, where I was attached as an actor and as a producer, and we certainly were not looking at first-time directors. And then I had what was truly the most horrifying thought that I've ever had. Shit. Which was, oh no, I'm gonna pitch myself to direct the movie. It really was an act of like pushing myself off a cliff. Hi, I'm Anna Kendrick, and today we're gonna talk about how I directed my first movie, Woman of the Hour. This is First Film. I love comedies, I love musicals. In a way, I was surprised that this is the subject matter that I was like, yeah, I want to devote like 1.5 years of my life to this. There's something about dark films that really explore those corners of ourselves and other people that make us uncomfortable. So even though I haven't been in a lot of films like this, it doesn't surprise me that this is the kind of thing that I was like, oh, I want to like get behind the wheel and do something that is very outside of what I'm known for. I was so surprised and delighted by the script because it wasn't the kind of movie I was expecting. It had this beauty to it. There's something in true crime that allows you to stay on this hamster wheel of believing if you can just understand why dangerous people do what they do, you can heal from bad things that have happened to you and you can protect yourself in the future. And like the second that we would remind ourselves that answers don't lie in this harmful, unsafe person, the only thing that matters is talking about these women, and we're learning about them and falling in love with them before we ever see them interact with Rodney, because it's where understanding or healing will come from.
How do you feel right now?
Fine. My favorite thing about making my first movie was that every person from every department that I interacted with, I got to say to them, this is the first time I've done this once, and it's with you. So I'm hoping that I can ask you 1,000,000 questions. I led with being vulnerable about what I felt like I didn't know and what I needed to know and learn. That really helped me avoid, I think, the worst thing you can do, which is pretending you know what's going on when you don't. You can plan and plan and plan, and there will be something that like you could not possibly have accounted for. There was one day where like everything went wrong. There were so many days where like everything goes wrong, but there really was a day where like everything went wrong and we actually had to like scrap stuff and change the plan. We were shooting this laundromat sequence. My producers kept telling me like we should really cut when she runs out of the laundromat. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm gonna have her like break out into this grin right as she runs past camera, and that's gonna be like the moment that you fall in love with her. And it's one of my favorite sequences in the movie. And I remember turning to my cinematographer and basically saying, I'm aware that right now I probably have like a crazed look in my eye, but I feel so alive.
Hey! God damn it! Call the fucking cops.
I like feel emotional because I got so lucky with the crew and especially with the cast. I'm so blown away by them. And in my opinion, I think that our The Dating Game set is like nicer than the Dating Game set, but because so much of the movie takes place there, it needed to be really dazzling. And I wanted the whole sequence to feel like, on the one hand, kind of colorful and inviting, but like overwhelming and dangerous at the same time, just to give this kind of eerie, creepy, overwhelming, sicky sweet vibe. I think what surprised me was how much I could trust other people. The thing you want to do more than anything is show up every day and just like have the experience of your life. You also feel like the first AD knows what they're doing, the DP knows what they're doing, the actors know what they're doing, the writers know what they're doing. And I'm like, you could go home and we'd probably make something really good. I didn't want to because I was obsessed with the script, I was obsessed with the cast, I was just so in love with everything about it. I feel weird giving advice at all, especially when I'm in the position of like, I've only done this once, so, you know, who am I to say? But at the end of the day, like the only thing that matters is story and performance. Watching good actors deliver great performances is like the most joyful experience you can have in life.
What are girls for?
Yeah, that's right.
I guess I'd have to say that that's up to the girl.
It's a very good answer.
Oh yeah, we love that.
I hope you learned something from everything that I learned while directing my first film, Woman of the Hour, only on Netflix.